Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. In this lesson, I'll walk you through several ways to create our code files. First of all, it's very clear. Let's ignore this for now and create a project first. This project is mainly for demonstration. I should release the project I'm using for the tutorial if necessary. First, let's open our 5.4 editor code. Okay. After opening it, let's create a blank C++ project. Let's call it XG. Simple demo. Okay, let's put it here. After it's created, it will open both the editor and MVS at the same time. There are mainly three ways to demonstrate how to create it. It's a bit slow. So what do? It's still our usual routine. Let's check it first. Generally, this live code might be enabled by default for you. You might need to modify the engine configuration to have it disabled by default. There shouldn't be any issue here. Okay, then let's check if it's dead. And it's him, right? Then let it scan. We'll patiently wait for it to scan because my computer has high specs. So it's relatively fast. It needs to scan another round for that project with over 10,000 items. New. It's quite memory intensive. If you use this writer, your memory usage might be quite high. With your 32 gigabytes of memory, opening two writers might already be quite risky. I have 60 gigabytes of memory here, so it's fine. Should be no problem. Okay. So let's continue to create this file. Okay, let's practice how to create files separately. First, we create from the editor. For the editor, we'll explain how to create it. If we keep a class, I'll select some commonly used classes here. Creating it this way is fine. Okay, and this is all class. This is learned from all classes. Note that this long is a native designer parent class. It is not one of our base classes. So here we will first create a UObject. Create a UObject. Click on it, then click Next. As for where to place it, let's be a bit more organized. We'll put it in this base folder. Base type. As for the name, we'll call it XG base object. That should be fine. You can select modules here. You can select the project's modules. You can also select the plugins module. Here we can directly select the project's main module. And then this does not need to be checked because we only need to distinguish between public and private in plugins. In the project, we do not need to distinguish. So this is how we create an Unreal C++ class using the first method. And it directly inherits from our UPrey. You don't need to worry about this. It just cannot be hot reloaded, so we can close it here. Then let's take a look at the output. So this is fine. It has been created. Okay, it's outputting here, which is normal. It prompts that it cannot find this location. If it cannot find this location, actually, how should we do it? How to find it often? The first way is to say it like this. This way it can be found. But we won't do it this way. Doing it this way is a bit strange. Then we refer to Lyra's approach. We open the Lyra project. We go grab a line of code. Grab a line of code. We grab another line. We grab the piece of code from build.js. Take a look. This is mainly what I often use. I really can't remember it well. It should be inside the project. The project's build.js should be him. Then it's this one. There is a line of code like this. It's called public. Public include paths. Okay. Let's minimize it first. Then we put it in this position. Put it in build.cs. It should be here. We put it here. Pasting it like this might cause issues. We need to paste it like this so the format is correct. Then modify this module. Now let's look at this class. Let's compile it. It should pass now, right? Then why is it still showing a red line here? It's because you modified this build.cs. You need to have our UBT regenerate the temporary link. So how should we handle this part? Once we grab the project, it should no longer have red lines. See, no red lines, right? Then let's move on to demonstrate the second way of creating a U class. I personally prefer this creation method. Let's do it this way. Doing it this way. Let's do it this way. Take a look. It should be like this. Let's create a new folder. Let's call it Xiao Gang. Base object 1. This shows the native method. Let's paste another one. Okay. Then after we finish dipping, we can then use the engine to brush it. We brush it. This is our second creation method. The first one is from this, creating from our editor. As for the second creation method, let me explain here. The redundant path we just saw, how to solve that problem. The second method is manually creating a text file, valid_d, then renaming it, and then refreshing the project. Let's take a look. Now it should be generated. Let's reload this project. Okay, so you can see that such a file appears. Before we write this file manually, we need to copy a copyright notice. Get into this habit. Saying demo. Okay, let's copy its 2x and CP file. And remember to note that the build.cs also needs to be copied. Also copy the module name. Okay. Also test it here. But don't test this one. This saves you from testing. It won't be able to read. This save cannot be paused, so it cannot be tested. So how do we write it the same way? First, we write the code. First, we are in the same file, so we include this command as only compiled once, and at the same time we include the commonly used smallest dependency unit. This is its purpose. And then secondly, we can include this. Actually, it doesn't matter if we don't include it, because within this minimal editing unit, there should be some UObject related things. So we don't need to include it. Then next, let's write this U class. First, we need the U class macro, right? And then we have a class. As for the name, we'll call it getBaseObject. And remember, we must use ucat. At the same time, it needs to inherit from public GameMode. Then we bring over the macro, write it by referring to the example, and we also add the export macro. This place is showing red. It is actually this. Our module name, then underscore, then API. Then we press Ctrl+Shift+U to make it all uppercase. It is still red, right? It doesn't matter. Remember here, because we need reflection information. So we need to manually write the file name. A file called generated.h. Okay. Then our header file is written. Then cpp. We switch over with A+O. Here we include the header file. That's it. We can just include it like this, right? So don't forget the H. It has already been scanned. No problem at all. Let's compile directly here. This is how we create a C++ class using the second method. Finally, let's talk about the last way to create a C++ class. Actually, it's creating a C++ class from the IDE tool. Here we'll mainly demonstrate with VS. For example, I'll create it at, let's create it here. Then we give it a UOengine+. Okay, then we select it. Let's start with an actor. Okay, starting with an actor. We'll call it ADD. Then pay attention to selecting its path. We'll put it in this base tab. As for the name, we'll call it Xiao Gang. Basic the. Okay. Then we can tick this box. It will auto-refresh for you. Good, let's confirm. Okay, it says here we need to override. Let's override it. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's take a closer look. It should be this one. Okay, compared to our object, it has more stuff. Because in blueprints, we definitely have the construction script. Then there's begin, play, and tick. Corresponding to blueprints begin, play, and tick. What does it correspond to in blueprint? It should be quite clear. Should be fine. Then in the constructor, we have a tick here. Actually, when optimizing our blueprints, if you don't need tick, turn it off. This is a feature that enables the tick. The comment here means you can make this tick, call it every frame. But you can also turn it off. This way, you can improve your performance. If you don't need a tick, then this is the case with begin, play, and event tick. Alright, then we'll stop this lesson here. We have now demonstrated the 3 ways to create this in Unreal Engine C++. Please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, share, and donate to support the Mingjing and Diandian program.